All
We're gonna
right.
be on time today.
Just let me know when you're ready, because then I'll go ahead
We
and I'll do the
live.
intro.
We live.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Soft Sports. Man, it's going to be another week, man. We got another great show getting ready to come to you. We're part of the original roundtable. Soft Sports is right back at it. We got a few people from the roundtable getting down tonight. Who we got in the mix tonight? Go ahead, Wise. You muted, bro.
Oh, I was gonna let Spitz do it. I was holding something down for the chat, but yeah, it's your boy Waz. You already know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out your side of town if you're from H-Town. If you're not from H-Town, make sure you salute where you're from. Appreciate
Mm-hmm.
everybody following through today. We got a lot of things to discuss.
Straight up, straight up. Hey, man, what's up, South Sports? What's up, South Nation? What's up, 526? What's up, Houston? You already know what it is. It's your boy Spitz. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. But the most important thing we got to talk about is this. I, Spitz, can confirm that the Whataburger chili cheese Frito hamburger is fire. It is fire. And when no one else is fire, that white chocolate raspberry shake. It might be better than the Dr. Pepper. Shh, don't tell nobody. I can confirm this type of things. What's up, Houston?
Give my boy an endorsement deal, Waterburger. Give my boy an endorsement deals.
Yeah, we've been caping for the Whataburger for the longest. Y'all already know what it is. Best burger in the country. You know what I'm saying? But enough of that. Enough of the shameless plugs. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get into these Houston Texans, man. First order of business before we even get into the Week 7 matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think we can go ahead and talk about last week's matchup and get a little bit of talking. Make sure that we give Damian Pierce and this young defense their roses. Talking about some of the breakdowns, what we see going into it before the bye week, as well as what we see coming up this week. But let's go ahead and get into the first order of business. Jack Easterby is finally gone. Here, everyone on the round table, we got the videos, we got everything already ready to go. We've been letting y'all boys know since way back when. If you was part of the 2020 squad, if you was part of the 19 sauce, you already know exactly what it is. This man has been a detriment to this football team forever. The man came in from being a chaplain from the New England, Patriots organization to be brought here to be like the head of personnel. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Dude has no real football knowledge. This man has broken up the team, and now we're currently in the real rebuild stages of making sure that this team becomes what it used to be. Not only that, we have so many people who are coming out, and now all of the people who supposedly, are in the interview rooms asking all of these questions. And when we talk about Jack Easterby, we're seeing a lot of people flip flopping, going back and forth. Because a lot of fans was giving this man a lot of credit, saying, "Oh, he's not that bad of a guy," and people will do anything for credentials these days. We always stood the test of time, and we're gonna let y'all boys know exactly what it is. We're gonna tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. So, first order of business. Wise, man, tell me how you feel on those momentous day, because I understand you was at work when this happened. You was on your way. You was thinking about calling out. So why didn't that actually? Why did you have to get the remaining part of the bag and not get to call out and just get to give the reaction when it happened?
Man, let me tell you. So first of all, I want to say salute to my boy Big B in the chat. He might be in the chat. He be in the Discord. He posted it.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready, putting on my boots to get ready to go to work and everything like that. It's a Monday morning. You about to start a long week and everything like that. And then I seen in the chat, Jack Easterby got fires. I said, what? Jack Easterby got fires. I had to read it again. And then I had to go to Twitter's. I had to make sure it was the verified page. I had to go to Adam Schefter's. And then I had to go to the other pages and the Houston sources and all of that stuff and look at their tweets and see what they were saying. And it was true. And this should be a national holiday for the Houston Texans organization. This is a guy that, like you said, has been a detriment to the team. He's had a negative energy throughout the locker room. He was spreading bad vibes. He was twisting and twisting people personalities and making them feel all good, but going behind their back and undercutting them to the organization. He's a conniving type of personality, and it could have had an effect on the players. It could have had a effect on the players' performances. It's funny when you see a guy like Andre, a GOAT, the legend, the best player of franchise history, was the first man to publicly come out and say, "This man, Jack Easterby, got to go." And that was before the whole Deshaun Watson situation and all of that stuff. And he told Cal McNair at the time, "Hey, you got to get rid of this buzzle." And the fact that we didn't get rid of him, it tarnished our locker room. It tarnished the players. We had J.J. Watt. He's now gone. We had DeAndre Hopkins. He's now gone. We had a lot of numerous guys. I can keep going down the list, Jadeveon Clowney and all these guys. But, I mean, in Honey Badgers, I mean, it's numerous of guys. We had a lot of talent on this team. We was this close from going against the Titans in the AFC Championship game to win a Super Bowl. And I think it's going to be a good thing for the players going forward. They're going to have the opportunity to actually feel free, to be able to express themselves, to be able to go in there and have a leader like Lovie Smith, have a leader like Nicky Casario. And this is a thing that I'm proud of Nicky Casario. Nicky Casario, I got to say thank you. You know why I got to say thank you? I've been meaning to say this for a while. He's the first general manager that came here, clean full house, came and did what he said he was going to do, rebuilding this thing from the scratch, rebuilding an identity for the team. Cal McNair is actually buying into the whole Nicky Casario movement. The players buying into it. We're seeing the rookie class that he's bringing in when it comes to the draft the last 2 years and the later rounds and things of that sorts. These guys is out here balling and outperforming. You got Dameon Pierce out here leading the rushers, number 3 rusher in the league after just 6 weeks in the NFL. So that's kind of crazy. But the man had to go at the end of the day. It's more numerous things I can say. This is a Fox 26 stream, so I got to keep it clean. But definitely, if you want to hit it real wise, I got a lot of emotion and bad things to say about that man, Jack Easterby. So join the Discord.
All right, Spitz, what you got, man? How you feeling about the Jack Easterby firing? Where you was at when you heard it?
I was at the crib, and when I got the notification, I actually got it later. And kind of like Wise, I thought it was a joke. I mean, somebody had joking like they like it's not even April Fool. Like, which I told. And then I seen like another. I think my NFL app went off with that notification, and then my other app went off with that notification. I'm like, oh, okay, now this is serious. And then I think I seen Bleacher Report or another outlet reported as well on Instagram, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's for real. Then hopped in the Discord and talked and chopped up with the fellas, and that was my ultimate confirm. But it was a long time coming, kind of like Ray. Shout out to my boy Ray. Kind of how Ray said, a day late and a dollar short, because for the most part the damage was already done. I mean, if you had done this 2 years ago, you would still have the real number 10 on this roster in DeAndre Hopkins. You would still have a franchise quarterback, however you feel about him, whatever it is, your feelings about him. The boy's talent on the field is undeniable. You would still have some people regard as the all-time Texan. I think he's number 2 behind Dre, but you still have J.J. Watt here as well. Like, a lot of people basically were casualties in the reaction of Jack Easterby being here and gaining the control that he has. I've been very critical of Cal McNair and his ownership, but one thing that I will give him, and it can work as his favor and also work as his detriment. In this instance, it worked as his detriment up until now, is that he will allow whoever he puts in place They have full control. He allows them to do whatever they is. He's not an owner like a Jerry Jones who steps in and does this and does that. I hire you to be the general manager. I hire you to be the head coach. I hire you to be the president of football operations. I'm gonna let you run it the way you want to run it, and I'm not gonna step in. That it worked to his detriment when he gave the wrong people and Bill O'Brien and Jack Easterby the wrong power. I think he's done a better job in allowing somebody like Nick Casario, who's somebody who's a legitimate general manager, who has legitimate credentials to actually be able to do what he needs to do. And I think this comes more so from Nick Casario. I think this is more so Nick has been here for a year and a half. He's overseen everything. I think last year I thought they felt that they could overwave the storm because the franchises always have ticket sales and always sold out merchandise. All goodwill with the Texans because it's a football state. It's the fourth largest city in the United States of a football state with football. Texas loves football from Pee Wee to high school to every type of football you can think of. Texas loves that type of football. So, okay, hey, we know they're angry online, but once the season starts, they're going to show up. And the season started, and ain't nobody show up. Wasn't nobody buying tickets. Wasn't nobody buying jerseys. Wasn't nobody doing this. Wasn't nobody doing that. Normal Texan things weren't going on last year, and they're like, okay, we got to right this ship. And one of the biggest ships that you need to right was getting rid of this guy. How, he was a snake. He was, people want to say, a snake in the yard. He was a sheep in wolf's clothing. I mean, he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's exactly what he was. Somebody who masqueraded and said he was this type of person. I do this and I believe in this and whoop, whoop, whoop. But did the exact opposite. They did the exact opposite. What to the point that he would run up to Cal's office showing tweets of people being too critical of the organization when you lose. Of course, we're going to be critical. And that's the reason, and shout out to the boy Tim, because Tim brought this up. He said, you know what? Now that you mentioned that if you notice, especially after the Hopkins trade, we've seen a lot of people popping up, a lot of different Twitter accounts, a lot of different YouTube channels of people popping up being overly positive about every little thing, telling us that, oh, Hopkins, the trade for Hopkins was a great trade. David Johnson going to rush for 1,500 yards. He's going to do way more than Hopkins ever did for the Texans.
What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What?
Like, people tell you, oh, Blacklock way better than DJ Reader ever could be. Oh, Blacklock's going to be able to do this. Blacklock's going to be able to do that. Reader can't do this. Huh? And don't get me started on Davis Mills versus Deshaun Watson. You already know about that one. But these type of things have been going on. And it seems like they were getting the green light. But as you notice, past couple weeks, especially the past couple days, it's very quiet over there on those channels. But hey, I digress.
Hey, to go ahead and piggyback off of that last point, man, we already know that this is a franchise full of weak, it's just the mediocrity level of this fan base, a huge portion of the fan base. To be honest, it's really about 75, maybe 70-30 guys who will just say anything, just go to the games and just root for the dudes, and no matter what, that's my team, I'm going to ride with them. And then you have us, who is in a very small minority. It's the reason why we've been able to really outlast, and we've been able to gain opportunities, and we've been able to rub elbows and speak with different people. And shout out to people doing whatever they got to do. I'm not finna sit here and knock nobody for how they get to their point. Hey, if they happy with it, I love it. We just refuse to be able to just tell people what they want to hear. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of just saying, yeah, they're going to go ahead, if you don't actually have the results to be able to show you exactly how are you going to be able to right the ship, because you caused all of the mess. You make the mess, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Like this, I seen people saying that you do see a lot of these channels popping up now you know, a lot of these guys, and you do see all these, you know, these happy-go-lucky ass type of people who always just pop up. And if you say anything about the Houston Texans and what is even deemed as a negative light, somehow you a fake fan. You don't care. How are you? How are you this? How are you that? How you claim to be this? See, I almost came out of character just now. And at the end of the day, it's been going on for so long that it's the chickens are coming home to roost. The people who know really know, and clearly the people who are behind the scenes, and Nick Casario is really watching, and you can tell by his interviews, and you can tell by the people who ask him questions. He hates the dumbass questions they ask. He hates the fact that, like, dude, you're really, like, you're part of the problem. How can you be a part of a winning organization and not have to deal with criticism? And when you take a loss, when you do take a loss, how you have to bounce back from it? He's been in a situation where he's been able to be a part of he's been a part of 8 Super Bowls. They won 6. And when you constantly are a part of success, and when you have some hand in constant success long term, it's real hard to be able to come into a situation where you have to build everything from the ground up. You lose your quarterback. You have no one to throw to. You get a quarterback who is subpar on every single metric a quarterback could ever play on. You don't establish a run game. You don't have a secondary. You don't have this. You don't have that. Now we got a secondary that's performing. Now we got young dudes who are playing with a motor that want to play, but we don't have the quarterback. We got a running back now. We have an O-line now. We have a lot of things going for themselves, but you know, people will still say, well, you talk about stuff long enough, you keep negative, then more than likely you're going to end up with negative results. It's not negative if it's only negative, and it's only hate to those who can't accept the truth. You know, and you got some Spitz?
Yeah, it's a difference between someone who's been there from the beginning. See, Nick Casario was in New England from the beginning of the dynasty being built. Now, again, granted, we all know the majority. We all know that dynasty is built on the arm of number 12 and the mind of Bill Belichick. We know that. We know those are the 2 main factors. But Nick was there from the beginning to the end because he was there after Tom Brady left and went to Tampa Bay. He spent the last year in New England, so he was there from the beginning to the end. But you have people like Bill O'Brien, you have people like Jack Easterby, and other type of people who we seen go out there and not be successful in their jobs afterwards, be thrown in the middle of the dynasty being built after the Patriots got a couple Super Bowl championships under their belts, and also a couple of Super Bowl appearances under their belts as well. And they go out there and now, oh look, stamping on the table, I was part of the Patriots organization. Like you were actually a part of something. The train was already on the track, already going when you hopped on. You hopped on mid route. We talk about people who loaded up the train from the beginning and unloaded the train when they got unloaded. They were there from the beginning to the end. Now nobody who got picked up along the way. So it's a difference between him and a difference between someone like Jack who only wants positive pieces and only wants positive things going out there because he can't take criticism. Newsflash, in sports, that's what happens. It's criticized. And I want to piggyback off of what you said about the area. See, they are so much lucky that they are in Houston and involving teams in Houston versus being covered in teams in New York. You think the fan bases in the media in New York give the Jets, the Giants, the Knicks, the Yankees, the Mets, whoever else play out there any type of slack? No. They be crushing them. They be winning, and they still crush them.
If this was LA, if this was Philly, man, bro, if we was Pittsburgh, if we was in Baltimore, hell, even if we was in DC right now for the Commanders, like, bro, it's so many. Bro, the Raiders. Don't even get me started on Raider fans. Bro, Raiders fans whole day, bro. It's the Raiders. Raiders, hand down, are probably one of the most loyal fan bases I have ever seen, ever. But at the end of the day, they do not accept no mediocre ass team. They don't accept no mediocre ass coaching. They don't accept no mediocre ass GM. They don't accept none of that. Go ahead, Spitz.
You know how hot them folks is in Denver right now? In Denver, Colorado?
Yeah, yeah. KC, like we can go to the Bills, bro. Really? Like, come on, man. Like we don't contend with no one who's got a real fan base out here. We are at the bottom, just like I ain't gonna say it, but go ahead, Why? Just so you had something to say.
It's disappointing. Like New York fans keep they franchises accountable. They put it in the newspapers. They call them out right then and there. They'll put you on a you come out there like Ben Simmons and you only put up 2 points, 3 rebounds, and miss the last shot of the game. They're gonna put them on the front page of the paper, and you're gonna see it all over town. They're gonna be talking it on in the New York media's. They're gonna be talking about it on the ESPNs. They're gonna be bashing dudes that I ain't saying you gotta bash dudes or anything like that. But when you holding the franchise accountable, look what's happening to the New York teams right now. They finally starting to turn it around. They finally winning the Jets 4-2. You got the Giants 5-1. Even though I think it's a little fluke right now, at least they going in the right direction. They brought in a day ball. They brought in Salah. I mean, look at it. And now the Texans is going in the right steps. So it's gonna take a little while, like we've been saying, for the organization to rebuild. You got this first rookie class that came in here with Roy Lopez and Davis Mills and Nico Collins and them guys. We're gonna see how those guys gonna last within the next few years. But then you got Stingley Jr., you got a Petrie, you got a Damian Pierce, you got a Mechie, you got a Christian Harris. I mean, all these guys is dogs. You got a Kenyon Green. You got a Kenyon Green, the best guard. I mean, like, all of these guys is dogs. They got the mentality. They put in, like Nicky Casario said, I posted it on Twitter maybe last week. He said, I come in after when the players got an off day, after Damian Pierce just rushed for 100 yards and something like that. And he the first one in the weight room. He in the weight room by himself, putting in work, 5 o'clock in the morning. He good around the locker room. He good with his teammates. He want to work hard. He want to make a name for himself. And he trying to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's going to be a lot of opportunities for these players to make a name for themselves, especially for us having a kind of weaker roster right now. Like, if we can find another pass rusher, if we can find another interior D line, if we can address the other safety position, right guard, tackle, and stuff like that, it's some opportunities out there. And so these young dogs that they're gonna be drafting over the next couple of years, they're gonna come in here, they're gonna compete, they're gonna try to make a name for themselves, just like the Rockets. So I'm just saying, Texans fan, it's a good day. I'm rejoiced that Jack Easterby is out of here. It's one of the best days. I can finally say we're not no Lexans no more. I can call us Texans again. And I might even consider buying a jersey because I haven't bought a jersey in 3 or 4 years. But, hey, we finally getting things right. We got the red helmets coming out soon. Hopefully we can get the white helmets. I mean,
White helmet, yeah.
Yeah. Salute to...
Before we move on, shout out to all the Texas greats, and definitely a huge shout out to Andre Johnson.
Yeah,
for being able and coming on social media and saying what he had to say and reposting everything about Jack Easterby and the opportunity that the Houston Texans more than likely are going to end up giving. So definitely shout out to him because, man, he deserves it. And for this man that has been in this organization from the beginning to the end, and for him to be the most notable member of your football team, for him to be the only Ring of Honor candidate that you even have inside of the organization, I would think it would be wise when he's always come from a winning stature. It's just a shame that the team wasn't built up around him in time to really benefit from his skill set. But we're gonna move on over to this week 7 matchup and against the Raiders, man. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I think it's gonna be a lot of good matchups that we're gonna be able to see. Damian Pierce versus Crosby. And Chandler Jones. Up front. How is Titus gonna look against Max Crosby? How is Chandler Jones gonna look against Tunsil? You know, Stingley versus Devontae Adams. Like, man, y'all go ahead, Spitz, man. Since Wiseman first last time, man, how do you see this matchup?
Man, now going into the season, I thought this is the matchup that I booked as far as probably being the worst matchup for the Texans. I thought this was going to be just a slam dunk L. Now the Raiders have not been playing up to nowhere near the standards. They might be the best 1-4 team in NFL history because the Raiders really are not a 1-4 team. They just had a lot of bad luck. Because if you actually watch any of the Raiders games, they are a very talented football team. They just make mistakes at the end. We all know in this league, it's a game of inches. You make the wrong mistake at the wrong time, it can cost you a game. Now, I'm of rather right now. I think the Raiders have the number 2 pick in the draft, and the Texans are slotted at the 4th pick. So if the Raiders beat the Texans, that's going to obviously elevate the Texans up to I think either 2 or 3. Obviously, move them up to at least to 3. And if they win, they will get probably even fall a little bit further down in the draft standings if you're keeping up with those type of things. But I do think it's going to be a very tough matchup offensively against the Raiders defense. I think the Raiders defense can do a couple of things, and I think it's going to be one of Stingley's tests. I hope he gets to cover and hope he gets to follow Devontae Adams the full game. But even if he doesn't, even if he has to go up against Hunter Renfrow, that's still a decent little matchup as well. So we'll see exactly. We'll see exactly how his stands up. I think that he'll probably draw Devontae Adams, if not the whole game, the majority of the game. Because as Wise will tell you, like I know Wise keeps the numbers on them. That I think Stingley is either he's the most or the second most targeted cornerback this season, and has yet to give up a touchdown. I mean, Stingley has showed for anybody who thinks that Stingley is not worth the number 3 pick, you're sleeping. I mean, Stingley is definitely stepped up to the plate. I don't want to hear anything go, what about who's the offenses that he played up against? That ain't his fault. He don't choose the schedule. This ain't college football where they get to pick the schedule. He can only go up against who he goes up against, and when he goes up against whoever he does, he plays well, and that's all you can ask for.
How interesting! How interesting! Coming from a man, coming from a man that's a Sauce Gardner's fans. How interesting!
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
It's Sauce all day, baby. You already know what it is. I can like both corners.
No, I'm a hate ass. He the op
You
now.
was a Sauce hater. You was a devil. You was Sauce. Now I saw sports haters, but I saw Gardner's haters. You is, yes.
Okay, but yeah, going to this Raiders matchup, it's gonna be an interesting game. The Raiders hungry for a win. They gotta get a win. They cannot lose the Texans game with a loss. If they lose, they might even start calling for Buddy from the Patriots, Josh McDaniels, to get fired. So I know he only been there for 7 games, but for him to have a start like this, he was terrible with Denver back in the day. He bailed out on the Colts. I mean, it's not looking good for him as an NFL coach thus far. But you got Derek Carr, and you got Devontae Adams, and you got Hunter Renfrow. I'm not too sure if Waller coming back. They say he might come back this week. Not too sure. If he come back, we're gonna lose this game definitely. Like I said, I love the team and everything like that, but I'm gonna be realistic at the end of the day. I don't think we win this Raiders matchup. They got a more solid team on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, they got Josh Jacobs. How we gonna stop the run game? That's been the weakest part of our defense this year is the interior defensive line. Guys been getting pushed back 5 to 10 yards, and he's just gonna run up the middle to the right, to the left, whatever he wants to do. Josh Jacobs gonna get. I predict him to have probably 150, 175 yards. So if you got him on fantasy, go ahead and pick him up because he's going to have a big day. When I look at the Raiders defense, they got dogs. Chandler, you got Max Crosby, my crazy white boys. You know, That's what I need with the Texans. We need a crazy white boy starting on the defense. I keep saying this. I don't get it. My boy Wallow's got to be a starter. We need to get a Brian Breezy or somebody like that in the draft. We need another crazy white boys here. Because when you have a crazy white boy like Brian Cushing and J.J. Watt, you get a good defense and you get a playmakers. So, but getting back into the matchup, like I said, the Raiders got a good team when it comes to special teams too. So it's gonna be real interesting. We playing away. It's gonna be a 3 o'clock game and things of that sort. So it's kind of unfortunate that we got to play a 3 o'clock game coming back from a bye. So I'll let you go, Wink. I don't got too much else to say on the game.
Yeah, man. The most intriguing matchup, hands down, is going to be Stingley versus Devontae Adams. I understand if they're going to be able to rotate off in certain schemes, but if this is a game where I believe you have the guys and they've showed and proved what they can do in man coverage. They've gotten better in their zone, but I think so many people who make these criticisms that zone, because I was in YouTube comments and I had made a post and then some guy like came out of nowhere and was like Cortland Sutton was cooking Stingley. I'm like, bro, he didn't give up no picks. I'm like, even the two PIs, one of them was legit, the other one wasn't. I'm just like, bro, he didn't give up no touchdowns. And like, and for you, if you think 5 catches for 82 yards is cooked, then maybe we got a different kitchen that we choose to live in. Because I ain't never seen, because that's about as raw. That's about as raw as a chicken I'd have never seen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not cooked through at all. You know what I'm saying? But what you was trying to say? Why you got something real quick?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. What's up with the Stingley slanders? Like, what's really going on with the Stingley slanders? I don't understand it. They was really hoping for a guy in Kayvon Thibodeau's. He only got 1 career sacks. They was really caping for a guy, Evan Neal. He got the most sacks given up in the league. They was really coming for what's that white boy that played for Detroit? Hutchinson's. They was going for Hutchinson's. Like, and he got drafted number 2. And I don't understand it.
It's the fact that Sauce Gardner plays for a New York team. If Sauce play exactly like he played, because I seen it about that the Jets probably gonna have the Jets have or most likely have both offensive and defensive rookie of the year. If Sauce Gardner had these exact same stats and played the exact same way and on the exact same schedule, except instead of playing for the Jets, he would be playing for, I'm gonna just say, the Titans. I'll just say the Titans. He's not. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking about him. Reason why people talk about Brees Hall is because Brees Hall is playing for the Jets. When Dameon Pierce is carrying the Houston Texans offense, and I forgot. I didn't look at what it was today, but I know going into the season, going into this week, he was 4th in the league in rushing. Don't know where he is right now, but I know going into the week he was 4th in the league in rushing. When the NFL on 3 separate weeks, the Bears game, the Chargers game, and then last week against the Jags, the NFL posted 3 different times on 3 different games plays from Dameon Pierce, plays of the week type situations.
Oh,
but yeah, you're talking about
wait. I gotta shout out my boy Kyle Brand from Good Morning Footballs. He brought the level out. He brought the level out on TV. He was like, yeah, Dameon Pierce leveling dudes like this and like that. He got 4 or 5 dudes. Man, what?
Kyle Brand been recognizing this boy's gangster since before the season even started. You know, a few of the guys was talking up on the fantasy and stuff like that. So if y'all involved in fantasy football and y'all was able, because I seen people saying reaching, talking like, yeah, if he was reaching for him in the 6th round, bro, he one of the top rated quarterbacks in fantasy football right now as a rookie. So is Brees Hall. Brees Hall just had a fantastic game against Baltimore, so it's going to make him look a little better as it stands right now. You got something real quick?
Yeah, as of right now, Dameon Pierce is 8th in the league in rushing. Nick Chubb is 1 with 649. Saquon is 2 with 616. Josh Jacobs is 3 at 490. Miles Sanders is 4th at 485. Lamar Jackson, who's a quarterback, is 5th at 451. Dalvin Cook is 6th at 450. Stevenson from the Patriots is 7th at 4. at 448. Damian Pierce is 8 at 412.
With a bye week.
He is incapable of jumping up to number 3 by this week. Well, no, because Josh Jacobs plays against.
And he had a bye week, so we gotta wait. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and the Eagles have a bye week, so Miles Sanders is going to be in the bye week, so Miles Sanders is not going to gain the yards. Right. So he definitely has more yards than Derrick Henry, more yards than King Henry. He has more yards than King Henry right now. King Henry is 10.
McCaffrey, it's a lot of greats in front of right now.
He's above Brees Hall. Brees Hall is at 14 and had an extra week.
What is that, bro? It's already like 200 some close yards.
And he didn't get the rushes week 1.
That's what I'm saying. But when it comes to, I'm pretty sure they're gonna let Stephen Hill. He's a guy that's been making a lot of good plays. That hasn't really been getting his praises throughout the season. If the guy has to hold Waller in this game, it better be Petrie. Like Petrie, Petrie has to be the one to take Waller out of this game, because if you got to leave Gubertrill, you got to leave. Christian Harris, will we see a sight of him this week? Or are they going to activate him? I don't know. I know he's already been cleared to be back. So we'll see exactly what that's going to be, because we may get a signing, but we may not. You know what I'm saying? Until we actually see the info and they release that for this week, that's just going to be he say, she say. But up front, I don't see them being able to have done a lot against this football team, because that's not a bye week isn't enough time for you to be able to correct the problems that you have up front. Sure, you could take better angles. Sure, you could, have better technique tackling. But it's one of those things where you either have it or you don't right now. And as much as you could improve upon it, I don't think it's going to be enough in the time frame that we have to play the Raiders. And I just watched Devontae Adams go crazy last week against the Chiefs. Like, that was a very winnable game. Like, they should have won that game. Like, it's no reason. Like, Devontae Adams got cheated on that catch at the end. They tried to say that he wasn't in. I was like, bro, y'all some squares for that. Because you just didn't want to. It didn't matter. Okay, if Mahomes doesn't win that game, yeah, but then they already knew. I think the setup was kind. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but they already kind of knew that he could very well lose against the Bills, which they just did. In a fantastic game. So maybe they're trying to keep the placement up for him, but it's not like he's going to have any problems being able to take over the division, because look at all the problems that the teams are already having in that division anyway. The Chargers not doing what we all thought that they were going to be doing. I understand they have issues. They always have injury concerns. Like, their team is if the Chargers could keep everybody on the field, the Chargers would not be a team that the NFL would want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because they just loaded with way too much talent. The Raiders, they should be 5-1, 6-0, especially the way I just seen them play against the Chiefs. Bro, we have no way of contending with that on offense outside of Damian Pierce. I think Nico, will be able to make some big catches, because they corners don't scare me. I think Brandon Cooks can be able to make some plays. I think some guys can make some plays.
You got Davis Mills. It ain't happening.
I'm glad you said that, because where is he? Where is Brandon Cooks? Like, have y'all seen him this season? Has he suited up for the Texans this season? Is he on injury reserve? Is he on practice squad? Did he get traded? Where is Brandon Cooks? Because the Brandon Cooks that I've seen just for the last 2 years in Houston, I have not seen the first 5 games. Like, I want to know, is football not fun anymore? Are you upset of who's throwing you the football? Because we all know there's only one person I really know of from a receiver standpoint. Really two, because they both play in the city. But more so one than the other, because he had to deal with way much more. It's really quarterback proof. And that's the real number 10. Like,
only other dude besides them, outside of this organization who could do that was Steve Smith. Steve Smith could do it regardless of quarterback, and Larry Fitzgerald could do it outside of the quarterback. Didn't really matter.
No, I wouldn't say Larry Fitzgerald because Larry Fitzgerald's numbers was good with Kurt, and he was good. And it was good with Carson Palmer. Outside of yeah, like yeah, because when Matt Leinart was up in there,
what about Megatron?
He had Matthew Stafford his whole career.
Stafford was good though.
This is the Matthew Stafford. No. You know what? You know what I want to say. Every time I say something, then everybody want to say slander, and then they come back and say, "Oh no, Matt Stafford's good." Because I was defending Matt Stafford last year when he went to the Rams, and everybody was dogging me. I'm like, they might go to the Super Bowls and this and that. Everybody was dogging me saying Matt Stafford is trash and this and that. Now we saying Matt Stafford is good? What?
No, I'm not saying that he's good. I'm just saying he's a better class. Just like Matt Schaub. I'm not gonna say Matt Schaub is good, but Matt Schaub is a better class of quarterbacks than people that Hop had to play with. Outside Deshaun, outside Deshaun, there's nobody else that Hop played with from a quarterback standpoint that's better than Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub is better than all of them. Same thing with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is better than all of them.
I think eventually Kyler will be, but is Cliff Kingsbury the guy offensively for them? I don't see it.
Well, I don't know. They keep getting 100,000 receivers. They get a new receiver every damn week. Like every week they got a new receiver. Like what?
Not the weaponry. Honestly, bro, the scheme, the way that they run the ball, the way it's just like his game.
Okay. Since you question Cliffy, I know I'm a Texas Tech guy, but we gonna put that to the side right now. Cause I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions about Pep. Would you take Cliff as an offensive coordinator over Pep?
No, because I think you're getting about the same thing. I think you're getting about the same thing. Like it's not really because you know why I'm saying it, because look at what he's doing with Hopkins. Like Hopkins in that system, bro, should be catching 16, 1700 yards, be catching 130, 140 catches. He should be getting that easy. Like
he's a fun size quarterback. He's a fun size. No.
Kyler Murray got skills, bro. Like the man can pass the ball.
Yeah. He do got skills on Call of Duty. That's why he got playing his contract.
You owe $10. You owe $10 to the Wise charity of choice for trademarks fun size quarterbacks.
Like, don't get me wrong.
I'll give you a shout out.
Now, I think if we're talking about how he played as of now versus Schaub over, but really. If we're talking Houston, bro, Schaub really only got like 3.5 years. The 2011 season, he went around with like week 10. Week 10 because what's called had to finish the last, with that Liz Frank injury.
His best season is 09. That's his best season.
Yeah. No, it's no doubt about it. But I'm saying, well, okay, 08, 09, 2000, a portion of 2011, well, 2010. 2010, I guess I'd have to revisit that season. I wasn't here to really watch that season.
He finished off fourth in the league in passing, but that was the Arian Foster year. Like that was probably the best 10. That was probably the best 6-10 team I've ever seen because it was really the defense was so putrid because you had Andre, who I think finished fourth in the fifth. Andre was fifth in the league in receiving. Arian Foster led the league in rushing and led the league in rushing touchdowns, and Matt Schaub was fourth in the league in passing. But your defense just that bad.
Yeah, and then the 2011 season, I give him credit for how he played before he went down. Because I think if we have Schaub to play against the Baltimore Ravens, there's no doubt we're going to the AFC Championship. Honestly, we're going to the Super Bowl. We winning that. That's the only year where I was like, bro, if a player could have been in that situation, especially the way that Drake was coming back after he had missed 9 games. But and plus and of course the 2012 season, fantastic season. But overall, man, if we could have similar play, even even when it comes back to Davis Mills, because I wanna bring it back around when it comes to that, because I'm gonna stick to the matchup. Just up front, man, we not, bro. I seen Josh Jacobs go crazy. Now Kansas City is a team you can run on, so I ain't gonna. But even before Kansas City, like he was running all over people. Like people was like, bro, he ain't getting re-signed, bro. Should we pick him up? I was saying, bro, I'd pick him up in the offseason, like if they were to let him, to be able to pair up with Damian Pierce, and for good reason. You see what he's doing, like, bro, like first contact, bro, he's up there with he's up there as one of the top running backs who's out here shedding blocks, fighting through contact, making first downs. He getting in the end zone, this year. So like his production has stepped up, but I don't know exactly what it is when it comes to the Raiders. But the thing is, Pep Hamilton, it's gonna be a screen on to Rex Burkhead on the third down. As soon as you receive Rex Burkhead, I immediately know it's going to be an in or out route. There's going to be some little short route where they're going to immediately throw it to Rex Burkhead because it's so damn predictable.
All right.
You're not going to throw it to O.J. Howard on third down, why'd you bring him here? Like, why'd you bring him here? Why'd you bring O.J. Howard here if you're not going to utilize him on third down? That's what you should be doing, but they're not doing that. So if y'all hearing this right now, it love you. If you with us like the way that you said, bro, use your damn tight ends on third down. Stop throwing to these damn running backs. What the hell is he 6'7" for if you ain't?
Time out, Wink. Josh put a comment in the chat. Josh put a salute to Josh for the donation. He says, does Pep get the benefit of the doubt because of Mills being a quarterback or not?
Hell no. Bro, he couldn't get it done. Y'all got to understand, man. He had Andrew Luck at the height of his career. The height. He's not the guy. Like he does stupid stuff like how he's doing. He's always done. He didn't get to really do that with the Chargers, and I would have to revisit because maybe he did it with the Chargers too. But the reason why they're going to say
he got plays with the Chargers.
Justin Herbert is, bro. When you have Keenan Allen, Eckler, a guy behind Eckler, you got tight ends, you got Hunter Henry, you got guys that you can pass the ball to, and you got Mike Williams. Like, how are you really going to fail in that situation, regardless of who's calling the plays when your quarterback is playing the way that Justin Herbert played his rookie season?
He ain't call plays though.
He didn't
call plays in L.A.
No wonder because he wasn't calling the plays. Because if he would have had his imprint, bro, well, how are we seeing Justin Herbert putting the ball down the field? We don't see that because he's going to be limited to the style, bro. Everything that he does is very rare on deep shots. It's not set up for shots down the field. It's set up for like 8 to 15 yards max. And if you can make a play after that, then get it done. Go ahead, Why?
I'm tired of talking about these sorry bastards now. It's the NBA season started tonight. The Rockets play tomorrow. My Rockets finally play. The Astros play the Yankees tomorrow. They in the ALCS. Let's talk about the winners, please. I mean, the Rockets haven't been too much of winners, but the Astros, yes.
The Yankees won? I know.
Yeah, the Yankees won. They play tomorrow. So the Yankees play back-to-back.
Oh,
yeah.
They're supposed to play today at 3 o'clock.
They did. They play us tomorrow in Houston.
Oh, so the Yankees won?
Yeah, the Yankees won. The game got delayed because of the rain yesterday.
So but I'm saying, did they play the Guardians today and beat them?
Yeah, they beat them 5-1.
Oh, yes.
So you're done. Yeah, you're done. What my boy Luis Garcia did out there, that 18-inning win coming out clutch. The rookie Peñas.
Yeah.
So the question is, will this victory be more sweeter because it is the Yankees?
We didn't already beat them 2 times. The third time the charm. We beat them 3 times. What? We didn't beat them at 17. We didn't beat them at 19. We're gonna beat them at 22.
I want the Astros to win so we can stop hearing about these damn trash cans. I'm so sick and tired.
One of the guys I work with, man, shout out to my boy Seb, man. He's a Yankees fan. He's from New York, man, and we've had conversations, bro. And he was like, we crack jokes a little shit when we do talk about baseball, and it was just like, well, he's like, he's really afraid to see us. Like, we're really a team that he fears because the guys that we got to be able to hit, like their bullpen, from my understanding, isn't as strong as it could be. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the lack of depth, later on in the later innings is what's really gonna get them versus the Astros.
And a thing that's gonna kill them is Altuve haven't got a hit yet. It's gonna be time for Altuve to eat. Altuve owes 2 or 3 home runs. Altuve gonna come up clutch. You know how we beat the Yankees? We beat the Yankees in classic fashion. We beat them in overtime, dramatic fashion. Home run, last pitch type stuff. Home runs, walk off. Yes, that's how I want it to be. Just like that. Walk off home runs. Right there's Aaron Judge looking like, dang, I want to be an Astros one day because I want to be a champions. And then we go on, we play the Phillies or we play the winner of the Padres and win a World Series. So salute to the Astros. They development, they farm.
Judge this year, ain't it?
Huh?
I think Judge will be a free agent this year, ain't he?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So salute to the Astros. They farm, they development system. They didn't brought the guys up. No matter who didn't left. Springer didn't left. Carlos Correa didn't left. Garrett Cole didn't left. Numerous of guys has left. Series. All of these guys is gone. And they still, Tony Kemp. And they still able to win, put it together. They technically a dynasty. If they win the World Series this year, they're gonna be a dynasty. And it's crazy how they was able to tear things down once Bregman and all of them boys retired, Biggio retired, and all of that stuff, and they had to start from scratch, and they had a couple of 100 losing seasons, and then now look at them. So it take a time. It's a good example for the Rockets to see. It's a good example for the Texans to see, because just a few years ago we was all on I don't know how to prescribe it, but we was all high about the Houston sports because the Astros was good, the Texans was good, the Rockets was all good at the same time. Everybody was championship contenders. So one day we're gonna get there again. Be patient. It takes time, and the fruit will come into fruition. But I mean, Rockets back, Spitz. I know your Magic's back tomorrow. You excited to see anybody this upcoming season? Wink, you excited to see anybody for the Rockets this season?
Man, to see that boy Jalen Green go off, man. I'm ready to see him, and I'm ready to see Sangoon step up and take his game to another level, man. I think him being up, and the fact that they got a better rotation, they got enough veteran players. KPJ, we're gonna see how that's gonna work out. But then, Jabari, bro, he gonna be a problem. Clearly. Yeah. He's going to be a problem. So, as long as they can keep the coaching down, and as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, because a lot of the games that I see them losing is going to be because they get in their own way, or it's going to be a serious coaching error. It's going to be a serious coaching error. I don't think they're going to get beat just because a team is just way better than them. Sure, it is some teams that's better than them. You still got the Warriors. You still got a few teams in the West. You still got the Bucks, a few teams that you still got to be able to shine up against. But as long as you can show that you can be resilient, you can play big, and that, you can hit the shots when you need to and limit your mistakes, that's all they really need to do, because Jalen Green needs to go ahead and take his ascension, because as it stands right now, I see him taking the back seats of Jabari, because he's going to come in and he's going to be able to show a lot more probably earlier than Jalen did. So when he does, I think Jalen going to take over completely. Maybe me saying this right now is going to be able to light the fires that this boy needs, because I think he's the best player on the roster. But but how I'm contextualizing it is right now, bro, Jabari. I think Jabari is going to be able to come in and make big shots early, be able to show his hill, to show it. He's going to be able to play on both sides of the field. He's going to be rebounding. That's why I'm saying and his size is going to make all of the difference. You know, Jalen Green ain't got his size, but he got every bit of more talent than
I
the
got
Rockets.
something to say about that. Jalen Green is way better, the best player on the Rockets right now. He probably going to average 24 or 25 points. Jabari going to go crazy this year, granted, but he only going to average like 20 points and stuff like that. The reason why I don't think he going to get out, yeah, he might average 19 to 20 points a game. Yes, he going to have the opportunities, and KPJ just got that contract extension, and they running that pick and roll, and they talking about running a small ball lineup with Tari Eason. These guys can defend. These guys some dogs, bro. I'm telling you, just how Damian Pierce is balling. I'm telling you, Jabari on a mission, and your franchise messed up by passing up for him to take Apollo Bancharos or Bancharo Bean, whatever you want to call him. He was my favorite players at one point, but
I think Harrells was the best in the draft.
no, Jabari is the best. Jabari is a KD. I had to eat crow on that. Jabari is KD, the next KD in the making. Like the guy is a scorer. You can't stop his shot. You can't block his shot. He ain't afraid to shoot it. He'll bring it up the court, and he gonna be more comfortable. He looked more comfortable in that preseason game before he got hurt with his ankle injury. So I'm really excited to see how Tari Eason's gonna do. Tari Eason gonna get a lot of opportunities. They said Jay Sean Tate not playing tomorrow. And they said Sengun might not even start. So we got to see what this news is going to be. We're going to see what the lineup going to be and stuff like that. But it's going to be real interesting what these Rockets going to do this season.
Who do you think Tari running mate is really going to be? You think it's going to stand? You think it's going to be somebody else?
No, Tari and Bari, bro. Tari and Bari. That's the lineup right there. Tari and Jabari, bro. Right there. The small forward, power forward. Or you can run them at center, power forward, and run a small lineup with a Jalen Green at the 2, a KPJ at the 1, and you need to get another shooter eventually. But yeah,
you still got Gordon in the mix if you ever.
Yeah, you can put Gordon at the 3, but yeah.
Stop.
KJ Martin is nice too. Kenyon Martin's son. But yeah, what's up, Spitz? We need to hear about the Magics. The sorry Tragics.
No. Just stop. And I'm gonna preface this by saying, going into the draft, I want the Magic with the number 1 pick to take Jabari. I want us to take Jabari because of the shooting capability. I understand that, but sit up here and say that he's going to take charge over Jalen Green is absurd.
Yeah, that was. That was. That was.
Made no damn sense.
I'm saying early. On.
I don't care. Early, late, midday, afternoon, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I don't give a damn. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't care. He is not the best player on that team. It is Jalen Green. The franchise player is Jalen Green.
I agree, but where are we disagreeing? But I think he's going to be playing better to start the season than Jalen is. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying once Jalen really get in, and once he realize, once he gonna take over, and it ain't gonna be no looking back. That's all I'm saying. But
no, time out.
That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Josh for another Shout out to Josh for another donation. He said he said are we still in the running for Victor Wembanyama, or however you pronounce his name, the French dude, the 7'4", freak ass center that can play defense like Rudy Gobert and can score like anybody.
I say you are, and the reason why is actually not even a slight at the Rockets. I don't believe the Rockets will get into the playoffs because I believe the West is too strong. Now, if the Rockets win the East, I think they will be a team that be in contention for a possible play-in. Like I believe the Magic, I think that's the only reason why I think the Magic possibly could be in contention for the play-in is because it's a weaker conference. It's less road travel. It's going to be harder to do that in the West. So that's why I believe that y'all would. So as long as you're in the lottery, you're in contention for the number 1 pick because you're in the lottery. And the NBA runs off a lottery. So as long as you're in the lottery, I'm gonna say you're in contention. But stop with the Jalen Green sliders.
It's not no standard.
Bro. This man Jalen Green is the next Kobe's or something like that, bro. You can't put no slanders on Jalen Greens like that, bro. Like he gonna be top 2, top 3 player in the league 5 years from now. I'm telling you, he that type of.
Jalen Green has scoring title written all over him. Like he's going to be a player who's going to get more scoring titles. Another guy think gonna get scoring titles playing Orlando. That's just a conversation for the other day. But I do believe that Jalen Green is going to be able to get multiple scoring titles. I believe that he's a franchise player. He's a player who you build around. And I actually think that Jabari is a nice set. I think Jabari actually pairs up. Like I know you Wise. I know you wanted Paulo. I think that Jabari pairs up nicer and better with Jalen than Jabari would have.
Yeah. I admit it now.
I think they would have been stepping on each other's toes because they're too much of a scoring option. When I think Jabari can sit back, he can play some defense. He can sit back and play some defense and hit the corner three. He a catch and shoot guy. He can hit the corner three. More like with Paulo needs the ball in his hands. So. But with both Paulo and Jalen both need the ball in their hands, Jabari doesn't need the ball in his hand. He's a catch and shoot guy. Now, you up here talking about Jabari going to score average 19 to 20 points as a rookie. I don't see that happening.
Yes. Mark my words, he going to average 20.
I would say around 16 to 17. I ain't saying no 19 to 20.
Yes.
So okay. Let me ask you this. So if he's scoring 19 20, is he going to be your leading scorer?
No, he not. Jalen Green going to average 23, 25, around there. And KPJ going to average like 16.
So you're telling me right now the Rockets going to have 2 people on their team averaging mid-20 points?
Yeah, we're not the Tragic, the Magics. We beat y'all in the finals already. That's why. We build better talents. Yes.
But how is that impossible? Like that's a thing that's very probable. Like
it's probable 2-3 years from now. Not year 2 and year 1. No.
Yes. It is possible.
This is Jalen Green's second year. This is Jabari's first year. So you're talking about in year 2 and year 1. You're talking about these guys are gonna score mid-20 points. Now you're talking about
because they got Steven Silas.
I get it. I get that. I understand that. You have no argument. You try to tell me unless they just getting the complete green light. Like, hey, you get the ball, you go for it. Don't play the offense. Just shoot the ball. Just get the ball in there. And then if you talking about that, okay, that's different. If they're gonna be out there playing hero ball, that's a completely different story. But if they actually playing through the confines of an actual offense, a legitimate offense, they not both scoring over 20 points. I think Jalen Green will. I don't think Jabari.
Jabari will.
Not off the gate. Now,
Jabari will. He that nice. I'm telling you. He that nice.
I wanted to draft him. I'm not like you to go back on my words. Like if
don't give me starters. You was just going on your words on Stinglers.
It's not a lot of guys even in this.
Who I go back on? Why? Who I went back on?
Stingley Jr. You said Sauce was better than Stingley's.
I never said Sauce was better. I said I prefer Sauce over Stingley because of the style of play, because he's a more physical corner. I've always said that Stingley was more gifted. He had more natural talent. But I like the way the Sauce plays because he's a physical corner. I've said this numerous times. I've had video breakdowns numerous times.
I don't understand that.
I'll give you a better example. Just like my favorite corner of all time is Darrell Reeves. I know that Dion's the best corner of all time. I like the way Darrell Reeves plays. Darrell Reeves is a more physical corner. Reeves Island, that's my favorite corner. But I know that Prime is way more talented than him. He's the best corner of all time. That's the same combination. I think that Stingley's more talented, but I prefer Sauce. That's my personal preference. I never say it was better.
I see, man. Well, I mean, we're going to have a lot more to discuss for next week. So now, I definitely want to continue this conversation next week, but we're running a little bit over, man. We're going to have to bring the show to a close. Man, is there anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here? And shout out to everybody in the chat. We ain't get to shout everybody out. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button so that, some other viewers who didn't get to catch the live show can be able to watch that. So if y'all haven't hit it, hit that like button. But go ahead, Spence. What y'all got to say before we dip on up out of here, man?
Man, appreciate everybody came through for live. Shout out to Sauce Nation, man. Shout out to everybody on the round table. Shout out to Fox 26, and also a special shout out to Whataburger with the chili cheese hamburger and the white chocolate strawberry, white chocolate raspberry shake. I need to go get it. Y'all fool yourself. If y'all ain't tried it, go try it. Go Whataburger now when the stream in, and then go Whataburger. Go get that.
Where you going, bro? We can't hear you. It ain't one night we don't hear you in the car getting something from some damn way. You remind me of Marvin from Power.
Bro.
Bro. He always drinking something, bro. But what you got to go?
Yeah, I want to say salute everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody that tuned in. Salute to Josh for donating to the chat. I do want to say salute to the Astros. Do y'all thing. Make sure y'all beat these Yankees. We want to see them Yankees rest in peace. God forbid. But yeah, we want them in the duds. And then also salute to my Rockets. Hopefully y'all have a good season coming up, and everybody have a healthy, longevity season. So. And we see some development and things of that sort. And salute to my Texans, even though I don't know we're going to beat the Raiders. I don't think we're going to beat the Raiders. I still love my team at the end of the day. So salute to them. Salute to Nicky Casarios. Salute to Fox 26. Salute to HEB, the best grocery chain in the whole United States. And that's it.
Salute out to Andre Johnson to go first and foremost, man. Get him back in the building. If y'all listening, man, we're going to get y'all the content y'all need. Nicky Casario, everybody that's in the building, we understand y'all got a bunch of yes men around y'all and dudes who are willing to say anything, who are willing to go ahead and, suck some pee-pee. We ain't willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure that everything's going this time. And making sure that we're telling all the fans exactly what it needs to. But we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here, man, and bring the stream. We'll be back next week.
Texas secure #1 pick.